planet exploration was a key focus point for Mass Effect Andromeda, and a lot of work went into the design of these worlds in order for exploration to be enjoyable. This meant the world had to be interesting and have beautiful designs, and in a recent Twitter poll, we asked you what your favourite planet or moon was to explore in Mass Effect Andromeda. There may not have been too many to choose from in number, but today we're going to rank everywhere Ryder can physically land on from least favourite to favourite. Hi, this is Matt from BioWare Follower, and let's kick off this list. So let's briefly mention those planets that fall just below the top 5. Being ranked last is Aya, and this can be easily explained seeing as it's predominantly not a planet you need to explore as a Pathfinder, but rather the meeting place to speak to notable Angara, as well as where you make first contact with this race. Aya was certainly among the best looking planets in Andromeda, with its vibrant colours, level of design, and busy but calming atmosphere. If only we could have had more interaction with this planet, that would have been pretty cool, but still, great looking planet. Next up, in 7th position, we surprisingly have Eos. Yeah, it came that low on this list. Now I got a little bit stuck in knowing what to say, and I would love to hear your reasons why you feel like Eos wasn't a planet loved by all. But maybe it was just that everybody had at least one other planet that wasn't Eos that they preferred. Who knows? But Eos, aka Habitat 1, was where not only are you introduced to 2 of your squad members, but also the Nomad. Not only this, but let's not forget you encounter your first Remnant Vault here, and everything you are playing, you're experiencing for the first time, as well as the first successful initiative outpost and possible architect fight. So Eos may have been a bit dull and dismal in terms of scenery and to explore, but decent for many other possible reasons, and it kicks off the planet exploration well. Coming up just short of the top 5 is Habitat 7, otherwise known as Ryder 1 later in the game. With as little as 9% of the votes, this planet is limited to a one-off mission that you can't unfortunately revisit. This planet perfectly represented how disastrous the initiative's journey has been, and the state of the planet is by far no means of being close to the Golden World that was expected. Here we first meet the Ket, the first new alien race experience to Ryder. Also, we have a search and rescue mission presented to the player to find the Pathfinder team, and we finally have the tragic end of the mission, a fitting continuation to the games of Mass Effect where the first mission never ever goes to plan. Okay, so let's now begin the main list. Coming in at number 5 we have Vold, or otherwise known as Habitat 6. And get this, the initiative had first hoped that Vold would be a lush garden world with scenic oceans. Man, that's a disappointment. The tragic truth is that Vold is undergoing an ice age, forcing local Angara to scatter in settlements, and any beauty the planet had left is buried amongst snow. Vold is one of the worlds that Ryder has to make viable, through a series of side quests, Ket destruction, and monolith activation in order for an initiative outpost. This planet may not be as pretty or as interesting to explore, but it was definitely a change of scenery with extra health hazards and plenty of missions to keep you occupied. Following this, with 15% of the overall vote, Hvala was the subsequent preferred planet for exploration and all-round enjoyment. This is the only major planet that suffers from the lack of being able to use a Nomad, so thank God we were still able to use forward stations for fast access across the planet. Hvala, like Aya, was among the best looking of the planets that we could roam about. The design of the Angaran homeworld was excellently done, and the detail of how the rain fell onto Ryder's armour shouldn't go unnoticed. Being a smaller planet with fewer quests may also have helped players to enjoy exploring this planet, due to the decreased levels of tediousness with the missions. Hvala was one of the Golden Worlds set out by the initiative, enlisted as Habitat 3, a lush jungle world. Other than the deadly wildlife being around every corner, you can imagine this would have been the preferred planet for some people of the initiative to settle down on, and create their outpost for themselves. In rank 3 on this list, and although it is actually a moon, we have HO47C, aka Habitat 5, and the hopeful Turian Golden World. Now this is relatively surprising as well, as there isn't really many missions available or areas to explore on the moon, so the reason it's probably ranked so highly is likely due to the effect of the zero gravity and riding around on the Nomad with this effect. Like with most of the planets in the galaxy, the Scourge destroyed HO47C, making it radioactive and a lifeless rock of debris. Via the Remnant Tiller mission and upon subsequent activation, Sam informs Ryder that the helium-3 levels will gradually increase, enabling the initiative to use this as fuel for energy for at least another 368 years. And just some speculation now, but this could possibly mean that one day, with a lot of work and against expectations, the moon could possibly become more stable and become a temporary living condition in a faraway future for the Turians. In the second position, separated by pole position by as little as 2 votes, Codere takes its stance. Codere was a well-loved planet where some fans have outright stated they preferred the storyline of Codere over the storyline of the actual main game. And even though this sounds more like an exaggeration, you can see why this viewpoint exists. Codere, known as Habitat 4, is overrun with Nexus exiles from an early date in addition to further criminal gangs, Ket and dangerous wildlife. Oh, did I forget to mention the hazardous toxic water? Yeah, Ryder had his work cut out for him here. Thought to be believed by the initiative as a mountainous garden world with pure, clean water, not much turned out as expected. Also presented with the story of Sloan vs Reyes, it's easy to see why this planet was among the fans' favourites. The bulk of viability is earned upon cleansing the water of its toxic waste by activating the Remnant Vault to heal Codere's heart. Throw in a decision of who you want to rule Codere Port, and you have a recipe of enjoyment for fans to play and discover. And finally, the victor of the community poll goes to Eladin. And whether this is due to the beautiful environment or simply the fact that you can set up an outpost next to the beloved Krogan in their newly found New Tuchanka colony, I'm not too sure. But seeing as Eladin arguably appearance-wise shares more similarities with Eos than any other world, it's a little bit odd that this won. Eladin is also immune to a much larger gas giant that I am sure you notice upon exploring Eladin yourself in the Nomad. Habitat 2, like the rest, didn't turn out to be what was promised, but actually less so compared to the other Golden Worlds. Eladin was supposedly a mineral and resource rich world, and this was still the case upon arrival. However, as expected, the climate and living conditions weren't very supportive due to the waterless environment, desert-like landscapes with frequently occurring sinkholes, and an incredibly strong heat hazard that is only relieved by the vault activation. On this planet, you will find plenty of side missions, Krogan, and sand. Lots and lots of sand. Let's not forget the presence of the Abyssal, that larger-than-architect worm-like remnant construct that brings back memories of the good old Freshenmoors. So even more reason for the Krogan to want to inhabit Eladin. If you don't agree with the community results and see things differently, let's hear your top 5 in the comments below, as well as what makes your favourite the favourite. Let us know any other videos you would like to see from us next on this channel, as well as showing your support to the channel by liking this video and subscribing. Thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye everyone.